Welcome to Iraqi Dinar News, where we bring you timely and in-depth coverage of the most pressing developments surrounding Iraq's evolving financial policies. In today's report, we unpack a series of bold regulatory changes announced by Iraq's central bank, measures that could have lasting implications for currency holders both within the country and abroad. Whether you're watching from Baghdad or from the global Iraqi community, these changes deserve your full attention. Today's developments mark a significant turning point in Iraq's monetary policy. Just hours ago, the Central Bank of Iraq issued a sweeping directive introducing new financial restrictions and compliance protocols that redefine how the Iraqi dinar can be moved, used, and exchanged. These are not minor tweaks to existing laws. This is a systemic shift that could impact everyday decisions for citizens, investors, and the global Iraqi diaspora alike. For those holding dinar, either within Iraq or overseas, understanding the implications of this new framework is now essential. These policies go far beyond technical banking measures. They have the potential to reshape financial planning, investments, and remittance strategies. So, take a moment to focus in as we break down what's changed and what it all means. At the heart of this shift is the central bank's announcement of wide-reaching rules aimed at tightening control over dinar transactions. The justification? To protect Iraq's economy from speculation, curtail inflation, and bolster the dinar's standing internationally. But for those on the ground, these changes bring immediate, practical consequences. Let's begin with cash restrictions. Under the new directive, Iraqis leaving the country may only carry a limited amount of dinar. If they attempt to exceed that cap, they must declare it at customs or risk penalties and potential seizure. According to officials, this is a move to curb illicit finance and discourage currency smuggling. However, it also affects ordinary people, students traveling abroad, migrant workers returning home with savings, or families relocating for work or study. These travelers must now be vigilant, understanding the exact cash allowance and carrying proper documentation to avoid complications at the border. Digital transfers have not been spared. All significant electronic movements of funds, whether domestic or international, will now face stricter scrutiny. High-value transfers will require full source of funds verification, including the origin of the income, the purpose of the transfer, and proof that the money was obtained legally. This adjustment is part of Iraq's effort to meet global financial oversight standards and clamp down on money laundering. While these steps might lead to a more credible and transparent system in the long term, they also introduce immediate obstacles. Individuals sending emergency funds to relatives or transferring assets for legitimate business ventures may now face increased wait times, documentation hurdles, and unexpected bank queries. To avoid unnecessary delays, financial records must be well organized and expert consultation is more important than ever. Currency exchange services are also being reshaped. Licensed money exchangers across Iraq must now log the identities of individuals making large transactions, along with written justification for each exchange. This policy targets speculative currency activity, seeking to limit the untraceable flow of large cash amounts. While well-intentioned, the new rules are expected to introduce volatility in local exchange rates as the market adjusts. For individuals and small businesses, this will change daily routines. Travelers, international students, and families sending support abroad will need to produce valid identification and provide specific explanations for currency exchange requests. Import-export companies in particular will face stricter compliance measures. Any attempt to convert dinar into foreign currencies for trade will now require full documentation, including tax filings, receipts, and commercial invoices. A lack of preparation could lead to transactional roadblocks, so professional financial and legal advice should not be overlooked. The impact extends well beyond Iraq's borders. Members of the Iraqi diaspora in countries such as the United States, Canada, the UK, and Australia, many of whom hold dinar as part of long-term savings or investment portfolios, will now be required to navigate additional regulatory steps when moving funds internationally. These include proving legal ownership of funds, verifying income sources, and clearly stating the purpose of transfers. In parallel, banks inside Iraq are preparing to conduct unannounced audits of customer accounts containing significant dinar holdings. If account holders are unable to prove the origin of their deposits, such as through payslips or documented business income, those accounts may be temporarily frozen for review. The message here is unambiguous. Begin compiling supporting financial documents now, before these audits are triggered. These new regulatory layers are also making waves in Iraq's property sector. The central bank has now placed real estate under the microscope as part of its broader transparency push. Any substantial property deal conducted using Iraqi dinar must now be processed through a registered banking institution. Gone are the days of informal cash-based transactions for homes, buildings, or land. The goal, officials say, is to eliminate corruption, prevent tax evasion, and crack down on shadowy deals often masked by inflated property values or under-the-table agreements. Both buyers and sellers are now expected to disclose the origins of the funds used in property purchases. These funds must move through official channels and be subject to bank oversight. This is no longer optional, it's mandatory. While this may introduce extra paperwork and slow down what were once quick transactions, the broader aim is to build a cleaner, more accountable real estate market that aligns with international norms. Why is this happening now? Iraqi authorities say the timing aligns with the nation's improved economic footing. Rising oil revenues and enhanced fiscal reserves have given the government more flexibility to pursue reforms that might have been politically risky or logistically challenging in previous years. With the financial cushion in place, Iraq is seizing the opportunity to tighten up internal controls, project reliability, and attract more serious foreign investment. While some critics argue that public awareness remains too low and that the rollout feels abrupt, the message from Baghdad is clear. Transparency is no longer optional. It's the foundation of Iraq's next economic chapter. So how should people respond to this rapidly shifting environment? First, stay connected to verified information sources. Follow updates directly from the Central Bank of Iraq. Work with licensed banks and avoid falling for rumors or misinformation circulating online. Second, get organized. Whether you're preparing for a major purchase, a bank transfer, or a routine remittance to a family member, you'll need a paper trail. Salary slips, tax records, legal contracts, and bank statements should be compiled ahead of time. Waiting until the last minute may result in delays or denials. Third, seek professional guidance. Whether you're a business owner, investor, or someone sending support across borders, now is the time to consult a qualified advisor. Financial institutions may implement these changes in phases, but failing to act now could lead to missed deadlines and unnecessary disruption. If your bank reaches out asking for updated documentation or compliance steps, don't ignore it. Respond quickly and treat it seriously. In this new era, preparation and proactive communication are your most valuable tools. Naturally, all these developments have reignited the long-standing debate over Iraq's potential revaluation. Investors who have followed the dinar for years are asking the same pressing question. Do these new restrictions help or hurt the case for a stronger currency in the near future? The answer is layered. On one side, these regulatory upgrades suggest a maturing financial system. Enhanced oversight, stricter anti-money laundering measures, and accountability across sectors are generally seen as prerequisites for a country preparing to position its currency more competitively on the global stage. These steps send the right message to institutions like the IMF and international banking networks, reinforcing Iraq's credibility as a serious financial player. However, on the flip side, there's concern that the added bureaucracy could slow momentum. Transactional friction caused by new forms, audits, and verification steps might reduce free market activity in the short term, causing hesitation among investors and businesses alike. The key is to view these changes as part of a longer journey, not a sudden pivot. They're not necessarily delaying progress, They may be laying the groundwork for a revaluation that is credible, sustainable, and globally recognized. For those outside Iraq who regularly send funds to relatives or dependents, now is the time to double down on preparation. As compliance requirements increase, banks may start asking for additional verification, even for routine transfers. This could mean filling out more paperwork, offering a clear explanation for the transaction, or even producing proof of employment or income. Since different banks may interpret the new regulations in slightly different ways, it's essential to contact your financial institution directly. Don't assume past procedures will still apply. Once you receive the necessary forms or requirements, make both digital and physical copies. Share them securely with the recipient in Iraq ahead of time. This coordination between sender and receiver is more important than ever. It ensures quick replies to documentation requests and helps avoid frustrating delays. Staying one step ahead is not just smart, it's critical in this new regulatory environment. One of the predictable side effects of tighter financial regulation is the potential rise in black market currency activity. In times of transition, unlicensed money exchanges often surface, promising fast transactions, better rates, and fewer questions. But the risks tied to these underground operations are enormous. These operators aren't just breaking the rules, they're endangering participants. The use of counterfeit bills, involvement in fraud, or exposure to criminal penalties is a real possibility for anyone tempted by shortcuts. Iraqi authorities are already taking action. Government enforcement teams have launched targeted operations to identify and shut down these illegal currency networks. That includes imposing heavy fines, seizing assets, and prosecuting offenders. Business closures, investigations, and even jail time are very real outcomes. No exchange rate, no convenience is worth risking your freedom or your financial future. The message is simple. Stick with licensed and regulated financial institutions. These entities offer a degree of transparency, protection, and accountability that no underground operator ever could. If you come across someone encouraging others to engage in off-the-record currency swaps, discourage it. Share what you know about the dangers and direct them toward legitimate channels. In this climate, keeping your community informed is just as important as keeping yourself protected. A chain is only as strong as its weakest link, and one bad decision can have ripple effects that impact entire families. Despite the concern and confusion these reforms may initially create, it's worth taking a step back to consider the broader vision. If executed correctly and supported by ongoing reform, these changes could provide the structural backbone Iraq has needed for decades. For too long, instability and weak regulation have prevented Iraq's financial system from fully integrating into global markets. Now, with the emphasis squarely on accountability, that barrier may finally be coming down. A restructured banking system could lead to more accessible credit, stronger currency value, and higher public confidence. Imports may become cheaper, families could gain better access to formal financial services, and job opportunities might increase, especially for younger generations seeking stability in a fast-changing economy. This isn't just about numbers on a screen. It's about building a future where the average Iraqi can participate in a thriving national system. Change is never easy. Reform often comes with uncertainty, hesitation, and resistance. But it also offers the chance to break away from dysfunction, reset expectations, and rebuild something more durable. If Iraq's leaders maintain transparency, communicate openly, and stay consistent, these shifts can prevent future crises, reduce corruption, and support long-term prosperity. The most important thing you can do right now is stay informed. Don't rely on speculation. If you're unsure about a particular rule, contact your bank or a licensed advisor. The wrong assumption could cost you time, money, or worse. And don't keep this knowledge to yourself. Share it. Talk to your family, your friends, your neighbors. A community that understands the rules can navigate the changes far more effectively than one caught off guard. Whether you're in Iraq or abroad, your preparation and your choices matter. you can help shape a more stable and successful financial path, not just for yourself, but for your entire community. This may very well be the start of a financial reset Iraq has needed for years. Thank you for tuning in to Iraqi Dinar News. If this update helped clarify the situation or prepared you for what's ahead, make sure you're subscribed and notifications are turned on. We bring only verified insights, never rumors, to help you make informed decisions in an evolving economic landscape. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Are you making changes already? Are there other topics you'd like us to cover in future updates? With clear information, good planning, and a united approach, Iraqis everywhere can rise to meet this moment. Until next time, stay safe, stay aware, and stay ready.